Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, you guys see the title. It is going to be my favorites and flops for the month of May. It's actually really weird because I feel like the past few months I haven't had a lot to talk about. This month I do, including a product that I am so in love with that we just found out will be in a June Boxycharm box. So there's going to be a full review and in-depth deep dive into probably my favorite spoiler of the entire June boxes. So if that's something you're into, make sure to keep on watching, and please don't forget to subscribe because I do upload 3 times a week. That's going to be the best way to stay up to date on all the fun stuff I'm posting. So if you want to see my favorites, flops, and the most exciting spoiler I have seen in Boxycharm in such a long time, stay tuned. So I'm going to open up with some favorites, and then we'll get into the spoiler. But the first product I do want to talk about did come out of the May Boxy Luxe box. Battington Brushes sent brushes, and this one specifically, the large all-over powder brush, has become like a go-to staple in my routine. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did do a premium box unboxing with Steph over on Boxycharm's channel, and the morning before I filmed that, or the morning before we did that live, I washed this brush to make sure it was clean, and I still ended up being like, no, I need to use it. So it was actually dirty for the video because I love it so much. It is super soft, it is super luxurious, picks up powder and deposits it so nicely. Honestly, I have not used a brush that I have been like so instantly in love with than this one in such a long time. Also out of that box, the Too Faced Chocolate Gold Bronzer. You guys know that I have been a big fan of the milk chocolate bronzer for a long time, and since moving to Florida, my skin is a little bit glowier and a little bit darker. So because my complexion's deepened a little bit, I know I'm still pasty as hell on camera, but it's a little darker than it used to be, trust me. So I'm going to take a little bit of this just to show you guys, but I find it is just such a beautiful color for adding a light, chiseled, sculpted, glowy glow. Plus it smells like chocolate, which is honestly a huge win from me. In general, you guys know Too Faced is one of those brands that for me is super hit and miss. I either am absolutely in love with it or I absolutely hate a product. This is definitely in the love category. And the, you know what, I'm going to get to the complexion I'm wearing because kind of along the same lines with this glowy, dewy, healthier looking skin and not being super powdery and super matte all the time. You guys know, and I think I mentioned this in my last 3 favorites videos, but still, Beauty For Real MVP, I'm in the shade medium 1. This is like the only complexion product I've been using. Lightweight tinted moisturizer infused with a primer, SPF 25, and so it's a squeezy bottle that you squeeze on, and then in the cap, they actually have a built-in full coverage concealer that has almost entirely replaced my MAC Painterly Paint Pot as my favorite eye base. It is the eye base I used today. Full tutorial on this link up above, I'll link it. But I am obsessed with this because it's just so healthy looking. Like, it is so good for your skin, while also, like you guys see, I have full coverage where I want full coverage. My skin is peeking through where I want my skin to peek through, and it just looks healthy. I don't think my skin has looked this healthy in a very long time. Speaking of healthy skin, I'm going to go into the skincare item coming in the June Boxycharm box. This is the Avocado Melt Retinol Sleeping Mask from Glow Recipe. I have raved about this product so many times, and when I found out that it was coming in a Boxycharm box, I made sure to like move it to the top drawer in my skincare so I can like make sure I still love it, because you know how things are. Something new comes in the mail, you start using something else, and then you forget about the old ones. I love it just as much as I did the first time I used it. It is a beautiful product. I keep the little styrofoam thing on top. See how deep I am in there? Just so that it keeps it from drying out. Smells really refreshing. It is a weird texture, I'm not gonna lie. It almost feels like pureed avocado, but once it's on your fingers and you start to break it down a little bit, it does apply really smoothly to the skin. I explained this product as the first skincare product in a very long time that hit different. Like, the first time I put it on, the next morning I was getting compliments about how glowy my skin looked and how healthy my skin looked, and that was one night of using. Imagine how good it is when you use it in your actual routine. I do want to touch base, though, on the product that replaced that, because like I said, something new and exciting comes along and you forget about your old favorites and move on to your new ones. The Wander Beauty Do Not Disturb Overnight Repair Concentrate has been that bitch. Oh my god, I'm obsessed. So it smells beautiful, super lightweight. This also has retinol, or well, retinoid built in, so it does have that same anti-aging benefit. I just find this one to be super reparative, and the only downside to this one, I will say, I'm just not feeling stuff in a jar right now. I don't want to dip my fingers into it. I love that this is a pump because I could just go like that, get what I need, and apply it. And it smells beautiful, so that's also a plus. Whichever one you're using, doesn't matter which one, I am going to let you know, if you are not wearing an SPF, during the day after you've used a retinol product, you are undoing any good you are doing by putting this stuff in your skincare. So please make sure if you're using retinoid, retinol, retin-A, any retinol product, use your sunscreen, please. The next two products also came out of Boxycharm boxes, so you guys just saw, I'll put a review up here so I don't have to go too in-depth with it. But the Sugar Rush from Tarte Best Bud in Peony and the Milk Makeup Astro Lip Oil. I've been using these so much just to nourish my lips, because for once I'm back in matte lipsticks. Still putting a gloss on top, but I'm back in dry color on my lips, so I need extra hydration. And this, I do want to correct myself, because in my unboxing video, I did mention that this was a travel size. I misspoke. It is just a smaller component, but it is a full size. So if you did get upset that you got this, either of these actually, in your box thinking they were samples, these are full-size products, but a lip balm is not going to be, you know, this big. It's going to be smaller. Okay, two more favorites, and then we'll move on to those flops. This is also from Wander Beauty. This is the Double Date Lip and Cheek. So it is a stackable. You get a cheek color, lip color. You can use it for both on top, which is a really pretty mauve-y tone. Mine is in the shade Rendezvous. And then underneath, in the bottom part, it is a clear balm. So you can actually take this with you throughout the day, layer it up, use your lip and cheek. Wander's just really good about their stuff being good for on the go. This goes right in your pocket, right in your bag, and you just a little more blush, a little more color to the lips, and you're ready to go back about your day. Lately, I mean, you can tell from the fact that there's two cream blushes in my favorites. I am back on the cream blush train. I think it just adds such a nice flush of color to the skin, and I love the way it just sits underneath everything else. Of course, I go like this, but I'm absolutely not wearing a cream blush today. It's been one of those days, but you guys understand. So I just love the way it sits, and today I used a powder blush. I used the Alamar Trio. This is the medium tan trio, which I'm still in love with. And it does look beautiful on the skin, but 99% of powder blushes do not last as long on the skin unless you have a little bit of cream underneath. So both of these are definitely worth looking into. And the last favorite is going to be from Givenchy. I used this powder, and it has been in favorites for a very long time. I was talking to a very good friend of mine, Jadi G, here on YouTube. Love her. And it was around the time of the Sephora sale, and she mentioned this powder, and she asked me what I thought about it. And I told her, like, I liked it, but I hadn't really played with it in a while, so I dug it out of my collection. I have been using it. I did use it today. It just makes the skin look so flawless. That being said, do you need a $60 face powder? Probably not. But if you are in the market, or it's on sale, or you're just feeling bougie, definitely an amazing powder to pick up. Okay, before I get to the three flops, I do have one, like, in the middle. And that's going to be, this came out of the Bijou Beauty box. It is the Fabulashes from Cara Beauty. These lashes are massive. I am putting them in the middle as a favorite and a flop, and you guys will see why. I have worn these now 3 times. I love the way they look. Definitely a favorite type product. However, the first time I put them on, they were just slightly off center, so it looked like I was wearing 2 different lashes. So you do have to be very careful with these, that when you apply them, they are in the exact perfect amount. Like the lashes I have on today, they might be a little crooked, a little uneven, one side versus the other. But honestly, when I'm looking forward, you really can't tell the difference. With this one, you can absolutely tell the difference. So there is a learning curve on this product. You want to make sure that you put it in the perfect spot, because otherwise it's going to look wonky. All right, and the 3 products that are going to be flops for the month. The first comes from Boxycharm. It is the Pretty Vulgar Eye Base. It is a mattifying eye base, and I'm putting this in the flops for one reason alone, and I do say this all the time. Just because it's a flop for me does not mean it's a flop for you. I have now tried this a dozen times, and it keeps my eyeshadow on, it keeps my eyeshadow matte. However, I'm still going to say using something with pigment I just like so much more. There's, like, the formula's good, but when you put it on, like, it looks like there's going to be color to it. And once you blend it out, it blends completely clear. I need an eyeshadow base, like I have the P. Louise base right here. full ass coverage. I have my MAC Paint Pot. Lately I've been using the concealer from my MVP. These products just cancel out and neutralize any redness on the lid and really help to kind of hide everything so you're starting from a fresh base. This was just, it was a clear base. I didn't love it because I felt like I wanted more cancellation on my lids. And the next two products do also come out of the Bijou Beauty box, and I feel really bad that two flops came out of one box. But that being said, a lot of you loved the look I came up with, and I loved the look I came up with. But the Pop Zombie palette from Ruby May, I've now played with this twice in addition to that video. The colors are really pretty. You can get a lot of creativity out of it. I just think the formula is a little too inconsistent. There are some shadows in here that are beautiful and pigmented and opaque, and there's other ones that are dusty and powdery and gross, and all over the spectrum. So it's a great palette. If you get it, you will learn how to use it. It's going to take a little bit of a learning curve. If you don't get it, don't think it's worth getting because, again, the formula is just too inconsistent. It's too up and down. I want something that's going to be a little bit more like it works or it doesn't, or at least consistent enough that I know what I'm getting into and not every shade is a whole new learning curve. And the last item actually did get a bad review in that video. It is the NYX Cosmic Gel Liner. It is super dry. I tried wetting it with a setting spray, an oil, and a mixing medium. Mixing medium actually worked out really well, but I don't want to have to use a second product to make a $9 liner, $12 liner, whatever, have to work. For that, I can grab any of my other liners that don't give me those issues, and I don't have to resort to trying to make something work that just doesn't work. The color was beautiful, but it took me so much to get it to work that honestly, it just wasn't worth it. And because I hate ending on a negative note, I am going to shout out one additional product that is something that I think I tagged it in like 3 videos ago, but you guys know that I love a blinding inner corner highlight, and the one I did today actually was just a liner. It was the silver, what's the shade name? It is the silver liner from Beauty For Real. It is called Totally Titanium. Super vibrant, super metallic. I did use I used this one. This is Platinum Blonde. I used this in a video, and I loved the way it turned out. Their liners are all pretty good, but their metallics are something else. I'm going to swatch all 3. Clean hand. The first one is gold, and it is the shade 24 Karat, and it is just the most beautiful high shine foil metallic. And with these, you get about 15 seconds of playtime, and then once they dry down, they are locked in waterproof. Second one is a little bit more of a champagne-y, almost like a taupey gray silver. And then the last one is the one on my inner corner, which is a straight up vibrant silver. And you guys see how metallic these are? For a liner, they are everything. I did not even have to layer a second highlight. Like, I pulled down my Makeup Forever Starlit Powder to put on my inner corner just in case, and I didn't even need it. That's how vibrant these are. So if you're on the hunt for metallic gel liners, budge-proof, long-wearing, whatever, no, this video is not sponsored by Beauty For Real. They're not writing me a check to say this. I just love the product. But this will give you that blinding inner corner that you can either play up or play down. Like, I'm going to just add a little bit more so you can see on camera live. I buffed it out a little bit so it wasn't quite as vibrant. But look, when I add just a tiny bit more, how much more intense it gets. These are absolutely stunning, and since I don't like ending a video on a negative note, I figured I'd shout them out too. And that is the finished video. Thank you so much for watching my favorites and flops for the month of May, as well as an in-depth talk through of one of my favorite products in skincare in general that is coming to Boxycharm in June. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know, what are you loving this month? Because that's how I figure out what I'm testing for the upcoming months. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.